It is so obvious, direct, and ground level that no explanation can be given or needed. It is the most gross thing that is there. It has to be obvious. The old has taken complete control over you. You are the old. There is no part of your mind or body that is not related to what you have been doing so far. The old is your food, very food. It is every cell of your body. How can you leave your food? Do you see, it is as basic as that. It is the fear of leaving food, because the old is feeding you. What spiritual answer can I provide? It is a very material thing that is happening. Kindly understand it at the material level itself. There is no need to give it a spiritual color. It is like a street fight, punch and counter punch. What spiritual explanation can be given? It is very, very material. You do not want to leave your food. It is all about that. The body is a self-preserving mechanism. It will not allow you to do things where even your physical sustenance gets threatened. It is not at all about some deeply logged dungeon of your mind. It is not at all about some subconscious tendency. It is the body. What will happen to this body? Where will I live? What will I eat? That's it. The mind only gives rationalizations. It will not admit it is the body. It will say, well, it is this, it is that. It will say, well, it is about security. What security? It will say it is about relationships. Really? Where are the relationships? It will say it is about name and fame. Really? Do you really carry any name and fame? The battle is a street fight, and anybody who dislikes streets, anybody who does not want to get his entire being dirty, cannot fight the last spiritual battle. I am reminding you, the last spiritual battle is not about a monk sitting in an isolated corner seeking samadhi. The last spiritual battle is always a fight in the streets. And those who are fond of wearing white, spotless white, can bid farewell to spirituality and God. Samadhi is not the end of spirituality. It is just a beginning. Remember, I had said that now that you have reached the destination, you can start the journey. You cannot fight on the streets. That is your problem. That is why people twist your arms by telling you that you will be evicted to the streets. That is the lever that they have upon you will throw you out to the streets and you start shivering. Oh my God, will I lose my food, my respectability? Where will I sleep? See, the body is a wicked thing. It was not without reason that one saint was compelled to say that bhukhe bhajan na hoye Gopala. Now, if you are hungry, it is the body that is not allowing you to go towards God. But the mind will not accept that. The mind will come up with 100 other justifications. The mind will say, well, it is about the weather. Well, you know, I am still not very convinced. Well, that concept is not clear to me. There is only one reason. You are hungry. There is no other reason. If you see, if you look over the last 50 years, we have had teachers in India who had to go abroad. And even if they didn't go abroad, most of their disciples were foreigners, not Indians. Why? Because Indians are hungry. The very body is not allowing you. Why else do you think will a 30-year-old or 35-year-old working professional keep put in a place that he knows is his hell? Because he is afraid for his stomach. That's it. He will not admit it. But that's the deepest tendency that is at work. Oh my God, from where will I get a roof to stay under? Most of us are very recently emerging from agrarian backgrounds. And India has seen famines after famines in the last 200 years. Basic physical sustenance is still a concern with us. In the West, nobody accuses the other or threatens the other that you will die hungry. But in India, if somebody tells you, bhukhe maroge, there is a shiver down your spine. Still, because the memory of those famines is yet not too distant. Most of us are the same Aryan race that the Europeans are. Don't you see why they are 6 feet 2 and we are 5 feet 5? Now, such a body that is undernourished, underfed, underweight, obviously will not allow you to move into the spiritual battle. Because the spiritual battle, I am reminding you, is a very much physical battle. The one who is not physically strong will not take that battle, cannot take that battle. And it does involve a great physical fight as well. That's why I said it's a street fight. You cannot fight on the streets, spirituality is not for you. What do you think? A saint just sings in the streets? No, he actually fights. It's not all so romantic that he goes out there with his instrument in his hand, a sarangi or a flute or an iktara. and peacefully, joyfully, like a bird he is chirping, and masses are coming after him, offering him food and security and respect. It's not like that. When the saint walks through the streets, he is often pelted with stones. And he must have the wherewithal to take those stones. If you start shouting and weeping, the moment the first stone hits you, obviously spirituality is not for you. If you start crying, the moment you get an ankle sprain, spirituality is not for you. It is only for the real man. It is only for the beast, really. It is not for the faint-hearted. It is not for those who are afraid of even scratches on their hands. You have to take deep wounds. When Rumi said, the wound is the place where the light enters you, kindly don't comfort yourself by thinking that he is talking in symbols, that he is pointing towards some metaphysical wound. No, he is talking of an actual, real physical wound. He is talking of a gash from where blood is oozing. And you don't have the money to take treatment. Now can you take it? That's the lover that Rumi is searching for. And that is also the reason why physical tolerance and physical exercises have been given a lot of emphasis in India. The yogi must fast. The yogi must have a supremely fit body. That is why you hear all those amusing stories about mystics who would forever stand on one leg, or who would sometimes sit on tree branches, or somebody who would not eat for months altogether. Because the body is the final frontier. Though you will not accept it. I am saying the mind will find rationalizations. The mind will not say that I am, not enjoying the session simply because my knees are wobbly. The mind will say, well, I have a problem with the epistemology. I do not think that that principle stands the test of rationality. No, it's none of that kind. It's just that you have a gastric problem. The one who can go without food can never be enslaved, because that is your final fear, physical elimination. Learn to go without food. and then come and tell me whether the world can dominate you. The one who can sleep in the streets under the open sky can never be made a slave, because that is the temptation given to you. We will give you a cozy bed, and then you become a bed warmer. Refuse the bed. Have the guts to sleep in the fields.